Welcome to BMBPH News with Kev. News without the WS.
Francis is live in Gastonia tonight. Morgan, how did the family say this all unfolded?
Yeah, Lindsay, they're just shaken up about all of it. They say 29-year-old Markovia Durham just got the gun, and he normally keeps it hidden from his kids, but this time he didn't, and it cost him his life.
Daddy was sitting on the couch, and the baby got up on the couch and got the gun from behind, picked the gun up from behind the daddy. Picked the gun up, not knowing that it was a real gun, and put it to the daddy's back and pulled the trigger, thinking the gun was a toy.
Family is still in shock over what happened inside this apartment on West 5th Avenue in Gastonia Sunday night. Phyllis Holland says her 2-year-old great-grandson shot and killed his dad, 29-year-old Markovia Durham. She says Durham just purchased the gun.
He kept the gun away from him. At that moment, he just wasn't thinking.
The noise so frightening, the toddler ran out the door. Neighbors say police officers swarmed this apartment complex around 9:30 p.m.
That little boy is going to go through something for the rest of his life, and it just hurts me because I have grandkids of my own.
Today, there were still pieces of crime scene tape on the ground outside the door. Holland says the family isn't placing blame on anyone. Right now, they're just trying to explain to the 2-year-old who keeps asking for his dad why he isn't around.
He wanted his dad there. He's only a 2-year-old. He don't understand.
The Gastonia Police Department hasn't said if anyone will face charges in the fatal shooting. Department of Social Services employees were at the scene today asking family members questions. Meanwhile, those who live around here are repeating the same message tonight.
Keep your kids away from loaded guns.
Now, normally anyone who doesn't properly store a firearm away from the reach of a minor could face a misdemeanor, but officials haven't said in this circumstance if anyone else could potentially face charges.
Wow, this is called paying the price for not being as careful as you possibly can, especially when dealing with firearms. Now, this may be used as ammo for the gun safety nuts that feel like your firearm should be taken from you and you don't need it. But, you know, we can't, when things like this happen, we can't necessarily make it about such, because you have to call this one right here a complete accident, because the shooter was 2 years old. And that's got to be a really big, tough pill to swallow once you realize the reason why your father is dead is because of the fact that you were a little bitty tyke that did not know any better, that saw a gun, and the way they portray guns on television makes them look like fun things to use. And anybody knows, as a child, you even go as far as to making your hand into a gun and, you know, shooting at, you know, other kids. Pew, pew, pew. So it's really safe, like, it's really, 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 really safe to say that the child didn't know any better and no one is really at fault. So for the family of Markovia Durham, the father who was accidentally killed by his toddler son, my condolences to the family. But you also have to remember, you have to be absolutely as careful as possible. Like the grandmother was explaining that he had just purchased a firearm and he was absolutely as careful as possible when dealing with the firearm around his 2-year-old. And it's too late for that, because it only takes that one time. It only takes that one time. And someone's life could be changed forever in an instant. The family, you know, is saying that no one is at fault, but for us living parents out here who brandish firearms to protect our families, common sense would absolutely tell you to, you know, keep the firearm as far away from your child as possible, because firearms and children do not mix. And many family has learned this the hard way, including the family of a kid that I went to school with when I was younger as a preteen. This kid was reaching down in his mom's purse for to grab her wallet so he can get some lunch money, and there was a gun in the purse. So something nudged up against the trigger and shot the kid and took his life. So gun safety, to put emphasis on gun safety when it comes to children, is absolutely the right thing to do. But for as far as the family of Markovia Durham, my condolences, rest in peace. This is definitely a shame. And as far as the 2-year-old, there's going to be 3, there's going to be 4 one day. God willing, he make it to adulthood. He's going to need all the love and support that he can get, because like I said, once it dawns on him in his life that his father is dead because of him, it's going to bring up some repressed memories of what actually happened, and it's going to be devastating, especially if you got some family members that's saying it's your fault that your father's dead. The kid will never ever need that in his life. But here's to hoping that never happens. So again, my condolences to the family. Very sad thing that happened. Rest in peace, Markovia Durham. And just for you parents out there who own firearms, that have very young children, use this story as a cautionary tale. You have to be very, very careful with firearms and children. Okay, this is it for now. This is Kev. This is BMBBH News. News without the WS. Till next time.